Hello and welcome to National Team Mexico. This year is going to be a big year for all of us US fans and Mexico fans. We have a lot to look forward to. Nations League, Gold Cup, World Cup qualifying, and even Olympic qualifying. But I'm here to compare the MLS and Liga MX, along with both our nations. Because the past is the past and the future is here to come. And I will tell you who I think has a better future. Please comment. I don't care if you like or subscribe. I just want to see what you guys have to say. MLS has 20 teams and is going to keep growing. Their goal is to have 32 teams all over the country, along with world-class stars in each team, which makes players want to come here. Beckham, Pirlo, David Villa, and even our own Cuauhtémoc Blanco. I for one love the idea that there are several teams because we have such a big country here, and it provides way more opportunities for the US players. In Mexico we have 18 teams, and not all of them are financially stable. But most teams do have 2 or 3 national players from North and South America, and 1 French player, if you know who I'm talking about. But with having 18 teams, we don't have many forwards because our teams don't rely on a lot of Mexicans. They like to buy foreign forwards and sell them to the MLS or Europe for a lot more money. Liga MX will be dropping foreign players from each team as the years go by, getting closer to 2026. Even with that, there is change because in the expansion league, it's only a U25 tournament. Plus, they have a lot of second teams like Pumas and Tapatio of Chivas. Most of the time, if a young player wants to leave to Europe, it's going to be really hard because they're always asking for $10 million or more. Jesus Corona and Alan Pulido left Tigres and Monterrey because they wanted to play in Europe, but they knew they weren't going to be sold. A couple guys following their footsteps is Alejandro Gomez and Eugenio Pisuto, who did not sign contract extensions and immediately left to Europe, Lille and Boavista. Edson Alvarez was sold to Ajax for $13 million. If I'm not mistaken, that is a ton of money for someone that stays on the bench. But he is a very good player at the national level. In MLS, they have a bunch of players that go to Europe at very young ages. Weah, Sargent, McKennie, Dest, and Pulisic did not make themselves known in MLS. They stayed in Europe where they eventually broke into the first teams. Tyler Adams was sold to RB Leipzig after having a great year in MLS. Mexico used to take all the double nationality players, but now the US is starting to compete and convince those players that they have a better future. Even though that our U17 team took second at the World Cup against Brazil. But it is getting harder to convince those American Mexicans to come play for El Tri, especially if they already left Europe at such a young age, with no big prizes keeping them behind. Will the future of the US with all these young guys all over Europe playing for big teams be enough to beat Mexico? With the likes of Pulisic, Reyna, Stefan, McKennie, Conrad de la Fuente, Sergino Dest? Or will these guys who have a ton of experience triumph over them like they did before? For now, our Liga MX teams are still above MLS. Could I say by 32 CONCACAF Champions League titles? Yeah, LAFC beat Cruz Azul, America, and the current champions León, but they couldn't stop Tigres. Don't worry, you would say, because Mexico has some young bright stars too. But will it be enough to stop the US from growing? Honestly, I think the US is doing the right things at club level and international level. So Mexico is going to have to make a lot of changes if they want to compete. But as of today, Mexico is still up and is still a better team. We have a better coach and, could I say, more championships, better forwards for now.